Hey everyone, I'm Jim. Today, we're diving into a mesmerizing communication style that captivates avoidant personalities completely. The language of subtle implication, where every carefully chosen phrase weaves an emotional labyrinth they can't resist exploring. Instead of shouting, "I miss you," or pleading, "Please talk to me," you'll learn how to infuse your words with layers of meaning, reflections on silences, the nuanced power of pauses, or musings on the space between two hearts. It's this understated elegance that keeps them feeling safe, while igniting their craving to investigate and decode, engaging both their minds and their hearts. I'll show you how to employ gentle metaphors, wield emotional restraint like a superpower, and pose open-ended questions that spark curiosity without exerting pressure. Through real-life examples, you'll see how a few suggestive comments can ignite profound engagement, making your partner feel invited rather than chased. If you've ever wondered how to turn every conversation into an exciting journey and make even the most elusive hearts fall under your spell, don't take your eyes off this video. Hit subscribe and ring the notification bell right now so you never miss another insight. Stay with me until the very end, because I guarantee these techniques will revolutionize the way you connect and leave you utterly irresistible. Between mystery and safety lies a subtle space where direct declarations are replaced by gentle suggestions, where messages unfold through metaphor and nuanced observations rather than blunt statements. This environment is the perfect backdrop for captivating avoidant personalities, those who crave connection yet fear overexposure of their emotions. When you don't shout, "I miss you," but instead quietly reference a shared moment of silence, such as, "There are moments of silence that make me feel closer to you than ever before," you plant a seed of curiosity. When was that moment? Why did the silence matter so much? They'll be driven to unravel the layers of meaning, engaging both their mind and heart, without feeling pressured to respond immediately. The power of implication lies in its dual fulfillment of intellectual and emotional needs. Avoidants relish the puzzle-solving aspect, invited to decode hidden meanings, while the understated approach nurtures a sense of safety because it never triggers urgent demands or emotional pressure. For instance, rather than saying, "I'm upset that you didn't call," you might share, "Yesterday, I realized how much I cherish the ringtone when there's been no call." Such phrasing fosters empathy and opens a broader spectrum of meaning. Why didn't I call? If they cherish the ringtone, do I care enough? From there, avoidants open up gradually and voluntarily, never feeling attacked or forced into explanations. For avoidants, a safe space is one that allows them to self-guide, self-interpret, and self-determine their level of engagement. When you offer delicate observations about life like, "I love how the sky deepens at dusk," you've crafted an emotional canvas where they can freely explore your true intent. You might be inviting them to share the moment or simply highlighting the value of tranquility. This indirect approach doesn't diminish authenticity. On the contrary, it imbues every word with its own weight and value, ensuring that each interaction becomes a profound experience, never mundane. The crux lies in keeping the flame of curiosity gently burning. When messages come not as direct questions, "Do you remember that sunset?" but as subtle comments, "I still recall the wordless moment when you watched the sunset," you hand them the key to discovery. They'll wonder what made that moment special, thereby organically initiating a slow-burning conversation, each reply laden with implicit depth. This process satisfies both the longing for connection and the need for safety, because they control when and to what extent they choose to share. This indirect space also fosters a balance of power. The flow of communication doesn't position you as the one imposing, but rather co-creating a narrative, piece by piece. The avoidant partner isn't compelled to reveal immediately, and you don't resort to manipulation or pressure. Instead, you offer hints, they explore, and when they're ready, the relationship naturally transitions from mystery to genuine intimacy. Ultimately, between mystery and safety lies the ideal synergy. You nurture their curiosity and engagement while laying the groundwork for a stable, lasting bond. Because when someone feels invited rather than pursued, they stay, eager to continue the journey of exploration and to build a solid connection with you. Building on the safe, mysterious space we just explored, Part 2 focuses on the art of skillful emotional expressana, key factor in maintaining deep connection without overwhelming an avoidant heart. Instead of turning your feelings into a dramatic performance, favor simple yet meaningful phrases such as, "Silence can create a space full of meaning," or, "Your presence is nurtured even when we are apart." These words not only evoke inner depth but also honor the need for personal space, allowing avoidant individuals to feel at ease rather than drowning under demands for immediate response or commitment. When you share reflections on longing without pleading, for example, "Sometimes I realize distance makes my heart grow larger," they'll instinctively listen and form empathetic bonds. This concise statement carries a gentle tone while sparking curiosity. They sense the yearning and anticipation, but aren't drawn into a tense tug-of-war. Using such delicate language also demonstrates emotional maturity and self-regulation, traits deeply respected by avoidants. They see in you calmness, growth, and independence from emotional crises. As a result, they feel safe, understanding that opening up does not equate to pressuring them to shoulder your emotional load. Through these small yet meaningful examples, communication becomes a two-way journey. You convey your emotions with finesse, and they are free to choose the depth of their emotional engagement. This not only sustains ongoing attraction, but also ignites their desire to respond genuinely, as they know they are respected and never overwhelmed by an emotional storm. Building on the artful emotional expression that preserves safety and depth, the next step invites you to explore an even more engaging approach with avoidant partners, inviting them to play detective in decoding your message. Instead of merely sharing your feelings with finesse, you cleverly leave clues for them to interpret, creating a captivating intellectual puzzle. Rather than asking directly, "Do you feel sad when we're apart?" you might say, "Sometimes I wonder if distance makes my heart beat stronger in secret," and pause. This remark not only sparks curiosity, but also honors their analytical capacity. They'll ponder, pose their own questions, and arrive at insights in their unique way, thereby feeling both empowered and safe in sharing. This subtlety prevents them from feeling forced to respond or put on the spot. When avoidants have the choice whether to engage in the decoding process, they won't experience pressure. Instead, they feel respected and in control of the intimacy level. That very sense of control makes them more open to vulnerability. They participate as co-creators rather than passive recipients. The thrill of being invited to solve a mystery encourages deeper curiosity with each hidden layer, prompting them to ask questions such as, "Which kind of distance stirs my soul the most?" Or, "Why does silence feel so precious?" These inquiries not only fuel the conversation but also allow them to express their perspectives, experiences, and needs naturally, without coercion. This shared exploration builds emotional connection and fosters intellectual bond, something avoidant personalities highly value. They feel mentally stimulated, appreciated, and encouraged to contribute to the relationship. When both intellect and emotion are honored equally, they quickly sense harmony and sustainable connection. So remember, instead of blunt declarations or pleading, weave subtle breadcrumbs into your speech for the avoidant partner to follow. By offering them the role of detective to your heart and mind, they will not only walk alongside you but willingly immerse themselves in the journey of true connection. Building on the invitation to play detective with subtle clues, we now elevate the conversation by blending intellect and emotion. Instead of stopping at personal anecdotes, you skillfully weave in philosophical insights, psychological frameworks, or academic perspectives, transforming dialogue into a shared journey rather than a prescriptive therapy session. For instance, rather than simply stating, "I feel lonely when you're silent," you might discuss how psychologists view silence as both a healing space and a repository of unspoken messages, or quote Pascal on solitude and connection. In doing so, you position yourselves as co-researchers jointly dissecting concepts of connection, empathy, and emotion through theoretical lenses, exploring why distance can foster trust and why silence can be love's most eloquent language. Grounding the discussion in intellectual thought stimulates the avoidant partner's mind while reassuring them that the conversation isn't targeting them like a patient needing treatment. You create a space for mutual exploration, interpretation, and conclusion, encouraging deeper, voluntary, emotional sharing. When intellect meets heart, every exchange becomes an enduring connection, fostering profound resonance and turning any psychological topic or personal experience into a panoramic narrative in which both of you are simultaneously author and audience on the path to understanding and bonding. Building on the fusion of intellect and emotion, we now arrive at the final essential element, respecting autonomy. Once you have sparked curiosity and explored inner depths together, it is crucial not to turn your avoidant partner into an object of demands or change. Instead, gently share your observations, desires, and boundaries in a way that preserves their sense of agency. For example, after discussing the meaning of silence and intellectual distance, you might softly say, "I've noticed how much I value those meaningful silences between us, and I hope we can keep that space so we both have the freedom to reflect." This statement doesn't pressure them for an immediate response. Rather, it simply expresses your feelings and wishes while acknowledging their need for personal space to process. This acknowledgement allows them to remain in control. They are not coerced into following a script, but are free to choose how to respond when they feel ready. Similarly, if you need a bit more interaction, you could say, "I would love to hear your thoughts, but if you need more time to think before sharing, please know I completely understand and am here when you're ready." This phrasing conveys your desire for connection while respecting the avoidance pace. They perceive your words not as an ultimatum, but as an invitation to a respectful dialogue at their comfort level. Setting clear boundaries is also a way to honor autonomy. For instance, "I'd like to explore this feeling further, but I also respect if you prefer to pause here and revisit later. I cherish our time together, and I look forward to our next conversation when we both feel prepared." By defining your own limits, you protect your emotional energy and affirm your partner's right to choose, demonstrating genuine respect for each other's autonomy. When you consistently share observations, desires, and boundaries with composure, the avoidant partner learns to trust communication that doesn't coerce. They see they are not forced to answer now, but are empowered to decide when and how to engage. This final step completes a communication style that not only piques their curiosity, but also fosters willing, deep, and lasting connection. Building on the respect for autonomy in our communication, we now move to the next crucial element, consistency without excess. After gently sharing observations, desires, and boundaries, avoid leaving the relationship in a hot and cold state that breeds uncertainty. Instead, maintain steady attention and care, whether it's sending a brief good morning text, sharing your thoughts on a book or song you discovered, or casually asking about a topic they love without clinging or demanding an immediate reply. This steady presence creates an ongoing sense of security. The avoidant partner knows you remain in their world, but not as a burden that must be handled right away. They will come to remember and appreciate each small gesture because it's genuine and unconditional. When you regularly show concern, but never so frequently that they feel overwhelmed, they realize that your affection is unwavering, unaffected by their mood or schedule. For example, you might take a few seconds each day to praise a minor achievement of theirs, or share a beautiful photo that reminds you of a moment you once shared. These simple acts, devoid of extravagance, leave a lasting positive impression in their mind. Over time, they feel reassured, knowing they don't always have to reciprocate this care but can simply enjoy the connection you fostered. When consistency is paired with subtle expression, the relationship flows smoothly between two souls. You keep the flame of care alight, and they aren't burned by desperate pleas. Instead, they feel embraced by your steadfastness and reliability. This is the vital step that transforms initial curiosity into deep, lasting commitment. From mystery to safety, from implication to exploration, from intellect to emotion, and from autonomy to consistency, we've crafted a communication blueprint that not only piques avoidant hearts but also invites them to willingly open up. Each step creating a safe space, sparking curiosity, blending intellect with feeling, honoring personal agency, and maintaining steady attention serves as a cornerstone for building lasting, genuine relationships. Remember, true allure isn't found in loud declarations, but in planting subtle clues that respect each other's space and pace. By consistently intertwining mind and heart, you provide avoidant partners the security they need to reveal themselves while feeling the unconditional sincerity you offer. Start putting these strategies into practice today. A poetic line, a gentle note, or a brief quote can all unlock new levels of connection. Don't be discouraged if they remain silent at first. Your consistency and respect will gradually draw them back and deepen your bond like never before. If you found these tactics valuable, be sure to hit subscribe and ring the notification bell so you won't miss upcoming videos. Thank you for watching till the end, and here's to your journey toward building safe, meaningful connection.